Moving on. Last one is Adam says, with the website structure domain, each primary service keyword will have a dedicated page. No, and not necessarily. It can if needed, but it is my recommendation to not create bunches of pages, one for each service. Figure out what the top level topic or category is and create one page optimized for the top level topic or category term. Because that one page will rank for every single keyword associated with that topic or category. Full stop, whether the keyword is even present on the page or not. What I'm saying is if you identify, if you can figure out what the top level topic is, or if it's a Google business profile, it's generally going to be the primary category, whatever the category is. And if you optimize for the category or the topic, Google already knows Google has an understanding of what the category, if it's a Google business profile, or if it is a topic, Google understands what all the keywords are associated with that topic or category. So if you optimize for the topic or the category, then you can rank for every keyword associated with either the topic or the category, even if it's not present on the page. No joke. So, and I know a lot of SEOs have a hard time wrapping their head around that, but it is absolutely true. Okay. And I'm going to demonstrate that in a moment. I'm going to show you how you can identify these things. And it's quite eye-opening when you understand this, because again, it reduces the redundancy that we have as an SEO have been doing and bloating our sites with all this content because we think we have to have and in the past we used to have to. We don't have to anymore. Right? There is keyword optimization, and then there's topic and or category optimization. Okay. I'm not going to go deep into that because that's stuff that I talk about in our mastermind, but I am going to talk about how to start identifying what are the words, products, services, keywords, queries, etc., that are associated with a topic or a category, so that you can optimize for that and reduce the number of pages that are required for you to get the results for your clients that you want to get, or your own lead gen assets. Okay. And again, I will demonstrate that with proof here in a moment. Okay. But what I'm trying to say, guys, is that this makes our job easier. And by the way, a lot of people still don't understand this. And a lot of SEOs that even have heard about this still just won't adopt it. I don't know if people just aren't testing or what, but you can still optimize for keywords. That's fine. But if you optimize a page for a keyword, you are limiting that page's ability to rank to only that keyword and close variants of that keyword. When you optimize for a topic or a category, you can rank that one page for every single keyword associated with that topic or category, even if the keyword is not present on the page. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. And that makes our builds so much easier because we've reduced the bloat and all the, junk content the redundancy that we constantly have been adding to sites. It makes the crawl budget less, right? It requires less crawling on Google's part, which means that the site's literally going to perform better. It indexes better. It makes our job easier because less content. And then the site structure that I will very high level cover it today, but tomorrow I'm going to go very deep into that in our mastermind webinar about the site structure and show specific examples across different industries. Okay. And, but the site structure that I've talked about, and again, I'll demonstrate here in a moment, is a way to create associations between product or service silos, what I call topic silos, and then location silos without requiring the need to create dozens or hundreds of pages that's optimized for every keyword plus location that you want to rank for, which is what we've done in the past. Okay. So again, it's a more efficient way to build a site that it serves all kinds of purposes. You rank for more keywords with less content, you reduce crawl demand, right? So it makes it easier to index. Google likes sites that it can crawl easily, right? Reduce resistance for crawling, which means reduce pages, all these other there's just so many benefits to it. It also requires less backlinks to get the results that you want, because you're targeting less pages, overall pages, with backlinks. Plus, depending on the site structure, you can build links to specific parts within the URL or within the structure of the site that will cascade to everything below it, or however you have your internal linking structure. So again, we'll cover that briefly today. All right. So Let me finish this question and then I'll jump into that. Naturally, city pages should talk to things relating to that city and be a silo of things about the city. Yeah, well, see, that's again, not necessarily true. A few years ago, it was very effective to go out and create just geo-posts, points of interest posts. That you might orphan them. In other words, you might publish posts that were point of interest posts or geo-posts, whatever you want to call them, that was literally just a post about geography, points of interest, historical landmarks, popular places, things like that. I call that geo-relevance data. So a post with geo-relevance data, and that was it. And you could orphan those, meaning you might not have like a way to navigate to them directly from the site or the navigation menu, but they're on the site, they're in the sitemap. Google can index them, and therefore it could provide geo-relevance to the site, and it could help maps ranking. That was effective for a while. But I started seeing a waning effect from just geo-posts. Unless you can tie it back, make it relevant. If it's relevant to the products or services of the business that you're promoting, then it makes sense to do it. So how do you create the association? How do you make it relevant? Well, you publish a geo page that's optimized for the services plus that location. You can add geo-relevance data to that page to make that connection between the geography and the topic, the products or services. But it doesn't have to be and it shouldn't be, in my opinion, anymore, a post just purely about geography. Because again, how is that relevant to the business? So if there's relevance back to the business, then it's effective. That's what at least from my testing, from what I've been able to determine through my testing, which I did a lot of it. So I will show that again, demonstrate that here in just a moment. Can I talk about things not relating to my business, like restaurants, other shops and businesses in the city, movies showing at the cinema, city real estate trends and city planning agenda of interest, et cetera? I mean, you can, but the point that I'm trying to make is, how is that relevant? I would, and I'll show you again, I'll show you. I would prefer to have a page optimized for the top level category or topic term, plus the city modifier that I want to rank for. And then have geo-relevance data in that page, but the page is mostly on topic about the products and services that company provides and how it relates to that particular area or geography. All right, so this will make some sense here now that we're going to get into this. Okay, so let me just open up Firefox and we're going to do some searching. So a couple of things I want to point out. Now, I know I've talked about this in the past, so you guys, some of this is going to be repetitive, but we got 30 minutes, and I would like to spend a little bit of time. I'm going to keep it a little bit higher level than what I'm going to talk about. Not a little bit, a lot of it higher level than what I'm going to talk about tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm going to go with a lot of examples here. I'm just going to show an example today of something publicly that I've shared in the past anyway. But what I want to talk about here is, to start with, like I said, I did an audit for a roofing vetted customer that their client was a roofing site. Okay. And so something that I typically talk about, for example, let's just go in here and just do a quick, let's say roofer in Fairfax, VA. We'll just use that as an example. Okay. So if I go into Google Maps, what is the Google business category that we see? Okay, it's roofing category, or excuse me, roofing contractor. You guys see that? So roofing contractor is the top level category. So what I like to do is try to identify what are the keywords that are associated with this topic, roofing contractor. Because if I can understand all of the keywords associated with the topic, or in this case, it's a category, right? Roofing contractor, that's the category. Then if I can understand all the keywords, products and services, materials, etc., search queries, anything that's relevant to roofing contractor, then I know that if I optimize that page properly, I'm going to be able to rank for all of those different terms, even search queries that don't appear or terms that don't appear on the page. Well, how do I identify what those keywords are? One of the easiest ways to do is go to Wikipedia. Google's language model was trained in large part on Wikipedia. That was one of several, but one of the largest influencers of Google's large language model was Wikipedia. Wikipedia shows named entities. Okay, so if we can understand the language associated with the named entities, then we can understand how we can optimize more efficiently, right? So Google Business Categories is a bit unique in that it's the same as topic optimization, but it's specific to maps. It's specific to Google Business Categories. There is a lot of overlap between Google Business Categories and what you see in Wikipedia. But sometimes there's some nuanced differences. So what I always recommend is that if you're optimizing for what I call a location landing page, so that is the website URL associated with a Google Business profile, then you want to optimize for the Google category. Okay. If you're optimizing organic pages, even if they're tied to a property that has a Google Business location, when optimizing pages for organic ranking that aren't directly tied to the Google Business profile as the website URL, okay, so that's what I call organic pages, even if they're associated with a project that has a Google Business profile. The location landing page is this URL here, whatever that is linking to, if that's clear, okay? So I always recommend optimizing for the category term if it is a location landing page. If it is a organic page, we want to optimize for the top level topic term. How do we determine what that is? Okay, so as I was describing earlier, what I like to do is I like to go to Google and search for keywords, products and or services that are associated with the industry that I'm working in, and then append Wikipedia to the search query so that Google shows me the named entities in Wikipedia that are most relevant to my seed term, my search query, because Google sorts by relevance, right? If you go to Wikipedia, you might get different results. So I'm not saying go to Wikipedia and search Wikipedia and then pull out the entities that are listed at the top. I'm talking about, I want to know what Google thinks. So I'm going to go to Google and search for a term and append Wikipedia to the search term so that Google shows me the Wikipedia entities or name the entries, the pages that are the most relevant to my seed search query. Okay. And it's sorted by order or by relevance, excuse me. So for example, if I come over here, let's just play around with this for a little bit, guys. Let's just, first of all, we're just going to start with roofing and I'm going to say Wikipedia. What do we see? Roofing, roof, roofer, right? There's 3 in a row. According to my seed search query, what is the most relevant? Roofing, because that's what I searched for. Next is roof. One but just below that is roofer. Okay. Take a look at the language of this. By the way, this roofing Wikipedia page, this is a page that shows that this word roofing can have multiple meanings depending on which context it's used in. Okay. So understand that a lot of times when you see these types of pages in Wikipedia, it's basically saying, depending on the context in which this word is used, it can change the meaning. So you have to identify what is the context that you're going to be using and to determine if it's the proper and if it's relevant usage, if it's the proper version of it. But that's where you start to see some kind of differences between Google Maps or Google Business Categories and Wikipedia entities, is sometimes because there are these types of nuances, right? These relationships between, or a keyword that might have, or an entity that might have multiple meanings depending on the context in which it's used. But what I'm saying is, this says roofing can mean roofing material, roof topping, the profession of a roofer. So what is that? That's a really good indication that roofer is a really good term to use if you want to optimize for roofing, right? Because it's saying that roofing is the profession of a roofer, if that makes sense. You can also say, see also roof for general description of roofs and roofing, which that's what I have open here. I'm getting to a point here, guys. Bear with me, right? Stay with me here. Try to follow along. And I mean this with all sincerity, because take a look at roof for a second. All right, this term right here, if I zoom in on this a little bit, this is where the gold comes, guys. If you can understand the language associated with these terms and then figure out through combinations of these terms what is going to give you the broadest coverage with one page, right? What can you rank one page for the most amount of terms that are relevant by combining named entities to either produce a category or a topic. And so if you take a look at roof, for example, look at all the keywords associated with roof, right? We've got building, construction. It talks about the different types of design and things like that. You come down here, it probably talking about, yeah, it's talking about the material of a roof. So we're talking about aluminum, so metal roofing, asphalt, so asphalt shingles, coal tar pitch, PVC, slate, ceramic roof tiles, so tiled roofs, wood shake shingles, etc. You could all of a sudden you start to identify, like, see, like, wow, this keyword has a lot of, or this entity, this topic has a lot of keywords associated with it. All right, let's go take a look at roofer. We know what roofer is, right? Roofer. Now take a look, guys. What is it bolded right here? So what was the primary category that I described over here? You guys see that? Roofing contractor, right? What is roofers? And by the way, what does roofing say in Wikipedia? The profession of a roofer. Okay. So if we go to roofer, what do we see? We see a roofer, roof mechanic, or roofing contractor. It's even bolded. What was the primary Google business category? Roofing contractor, right? So you guys understand roofing contractor is synonymous with roofer, according to Google. So you can optimize a location landing page for roofing contractor, which is what I recommend, because it was you want to reinforce or corroborate Google's own data. So if the primary Google business category is roofing contractor, optimize the location landing page for roofing contractor. But I'm not done yet, right? We're just scratched the surface here, and we're going to, we've got 25 minutes, so we're good. But roofing contractor, and then again, you scroll through here. And by the way, right here in this very first paragraph, a lot of times the gold is right there, but don't not scan through the rest of these pages. I try to explain this to our mastermind members too. It's not enough. Don't shortcut this shit, guys. By the way, this is why I recommend going into a single industry, because you get to understand that industry so well that you can optimize and just blow everyone else out of the water. Because while everyone else is optimizing for keywords, you're optimizing for topics. You'll have a fraction of the number of pages and rank for many more keywords. And all those other SEOs are going to be doing an enormous amount of work while you're sitting back and laughing at them. You know what I mean? And so the point that I'm trying to make here is, if you scroll through like the roofer page, take a look at like all these other keywords that are associated with roofer that are gold. And I'll get to a point here about this, about how you can combine these things and get even broader topic coverage. So for example, roofer, roof mechanic, or roofing contractor is a tradesperson who specializes in roof construction. Roofers replace, repair, and install the roofs of buildings using a variety of materials, including shingles, bitumen, whatever the hell that is, and metal. Roofing work can be physically demanding, blah, blah, blah. And then it also talks about residential. It talks, again, going back down here, it talks about roofing contractors, roofing professionals. So all of a sudden you see that roofer is a fantastic keyword, which is also synonymous with roofing contractor, which is the primary Google business category, right? So for a location landing page, I would optimize that for roofing contractor, exactly as it's listed here. Okay, that's optimizing for the category, not a keyword, category. Okay, now to take this a step further, let's take a look at something else. Okay, we already also understand that a roofer, which is also synonymous with a roofing contractor, specializes in roof construction, replace and repair, and installation, right? But here's another one. Let's go take a look at this, right? Let's look at repair, Wikipedia, okay? And if I could spell that. We have home repair, repair wiki, repair, repairs, all of these things. Like, for example, this is one of those things that say, and this is what I specifically brought this page up for a reason. Because what is Wikipedia telling us? Repairs are synonymous with maintenance, right? So repairs mean maintenance, but maintenance means a lot more than just repairs. This is an aha moment. It should be an aha moment for some of you guys, because all of a sudden repairs means maintenance, but maintenance means a lot more than just repairs, as noted in the first paragraph of this Wikipedia entity or entry for maintenance. The technical meaning of maintenance involves functional checks, servicing, repairing, or replacing of necessary devices, equipment, machinery, building infrastructure, and supporting utilities in industrial, business, and residential installations. You guys understand how broad that topic coverage is? That is super broad. And I discovered this through the same process that I'm demonstrating to you guys today in the tree service industry. And I'll demonstrate this in a moment. But I had never seen, I'm not going to say never, very rarely would I ever see any web page in the tree service industry optimized for tree maintenance. Generally, when I did, it's going to be a page on a county government site that talks about tree maintenance according to the count, like, you know, trimming of trees down city streets and things like that. That's usually where I would see the only time I ever see that term tree maintenance used in SEO titles and things like that would be on like county municipal sites where they're talking about the local government, the municipal government that does tree maintenance services in their own local area, whatever. Hopefully that's clear. Never can I remember ever seeing a tree service contractor, therefore SEOs, trying to optimize for tree maintenance. But when I discovered what I discovered here by starting to study the language of the words associated with the industry, I started to identify, like, wait a minute, this seems like this is gold right here. Like, tree maintenance should cover a lot more search queries than tree service, which is the primary Google business category, is tree service. But tree maintenance, after I started testing with it, and I'll demonstrate again, I've shown this many, many times, this example, so I'll show it again today. But when I started testing, and I started testing tree maintenance and created a topic from those two individual entities, all of a sudden that one page can rank for every single keyword associated with the tree service industry, even if the keyword doesn't appear on the page. And it changed everything for me. Like, swear to God, my entire SEO career has changed in the last year. Everything that I do for on-page optimization is completely different now than it was a year ago because of this. And so that's why I'm saying, guys, in my opinion, you should be spending some time understanding the language associated with whatever industry you're in. Spend some time analyzing, and we just stopped at some very basic analysis here. We can go a lot deeper than that. We're not going to do it on a Hump Day Hangout for sure. But what I'm saying is go through and start plugging in different keywords that are associated with your industry, append Wikipedia to the search term using Google, identify the named entities from within Wikipedia, open them up, start categorizing them, start identifying the keywords that are associated with that named entity, and start building a list. And that's, again, those of you that Me Too agencies that work with dozens of different industries, good luck doing all of this. So pick one industry and do a deep dive into it and figure it out and start testing. If you don't believe me, just start testing. Okay. Start testing on your own and determine if it's effective or not. Okay. That's all I can say. Right. So again, maintenance shows so many different keywords that are associated with maintenance. And we know that repairs is synonymous with maintenance, but maintenance has a lot more coverage than just repair or repairs, which is plural, right? So now, why did I bring that up? Because if we understand that roof is a very broad term, and this page here is very thorough, and it's got a lot of, again, all the things that asphalt shingles, building codes, slate roofing, asbestos, green roofs, so eco-friendly roofs, things like that, roofing tiles, metal roofs, sheet metal. Like, guys, there are so many keywords on this page about roof. So let's just go take a look at some examples here for a second. I'm just curious. I'd not clicked through any of these to determine, but I want to show you guys something about this. So let's look at roofing. So take a look at this. You see right here on this page, right? So let's take a look at the URL structure. This is a roofing page. Fine, I'll allow it. Just leave me alone. Jesus Christ. All right, if we go on that's a roofing page. Okay, let's go take a look at asphalt shingles. Didn't I already fucking allow that? Don't you hate that? Jesus Christ, this is one of those sites. That shit annoys me like nobody, like to no end. Those pop-ups, those persistent pop-ups. God, that irritates the shit out of me. Anyway, you guys see, like, they've got multiple pages here. Now, you can do that, but it's not necessary. Because roofing, right? And roofing is a good keyword for that. Roofing is a good keyword because, remember, roofing is synonymous with roofer, depending if it's used in the proper context. In this case, it is. And so therefore, roofer has all of these keywords associated with it, right? So roofing and or roofer, excuse me, that's over here, sorry. Roofing and or roofer could have been used in this slug, the permalink, whatever, but also these sub pages, right? These child pages or supporting posts, however it is that they structured this, they don't need to have those additional pages, because if this one page is optimized properly, it can rank for all of these terms as we've already identified. So what would I optimize? So let me back up for a minute. If we go in and we click on, that was pond roofing, right? If we click on the website URL, that is the location landing page. In this case, it's the homepage URL, which is normal for a single location business. And those pop-ups are just absolutely infuriating. Anyways, so this is the location landing page. So what would I optimize this for? Okay, I'm going to show you. I would optimize it exactly as I'm about to demonstrate here. If I can, why is it not letting me? Son of a bitch. All right, let's just type it out there. Pond Roofing Company, comma, Inc. Why? Because that's how it's listed in Google. If we open up their map for this, we have to go back to Google to do that. Son of a bitch. Let's go ahead and look up Pond Roofing Company, if I can spell. So we can pop a knowledge panel, okay? All right, pop a knowledge panel, go into Google Maps. What does the Google Map SEO title say? Pond Roofing Company, comma, Inc., hyphen, which is the separator. Then Google Maps is appended to that. We can't change that, okay? That is, the SEO title is the company name, the Google Business Profile name. Then it's a hyphen separator, plus Google's own property. Google's associating Google Maps with Pond Roofing Company, right? So it's creating an association between Google's own platform and this local entity, okay? Now, if they have a Google business website, which I don't know if they do, we could find out. We could go to Google and do a quick search, right? Do in URL, :business.site, hyphen, or excuse me, parentheses, and in the brand name. And how is that listed? Is there an Inc. INC? There's not there. So let's get rid of that. And we're going to copy this. Whoops. Try that again. And we're going to go search for that. And see, is there a Google business website published? It might be published, but it's not indexed, and that happens. So they don't have one. If they did, you would see that the SEO title would follow this exact same format. The brand name is going to be first. You can't change that. The only way you can change the first part of the SEO title of a Google business website is to change the Google business profile name. And then there's a hyphen. And then it tells you in the Google Business Manager, Website Manager, what's called the summary header. When it's blank, Google gives helper text. And it says for best results include, and then it says roofing contractor in parentheses, exactly as you see it listed here. And then it also will say, and include Fairfax, which is the city. And it says that in the helper text. So why don't we optimize that way? Google's telling us, like, hey, corroborate this data, right? This entity association. And so the way that I recommend is that I want to mirror what Google does for location landing pages, so that I'm reinforcing, corroborating Google's own data for the local entity. So therefore, I want to mirror that, and I'm going to do it exactly as Google suggests. Again, I know we talked about Google misdirecting, but in this case, look at what Google is doing, right? Google does provide misinformation, disinformation, misdirection, whatever the fuck you want to call it, all the time. But clearly, if you just analyze what Google is doing with its own properties, then if it's good enough for Google, it should be good enough for us, right? So why not model that and just test with it if you don't believe me? But here's what I'm saying. I would do this. And then, by the way, so roofing contractor, and then the last part of this would be Fairfax, VA. What is the location entity? It's Fairfax, Virginia. If I can copy that. So this is how I would optimize the homepage, the location landing page, okay? Because that's the page, that's this page here, which happens to be the homepage, which is normal for a single location business. I would optimize this like that, okay? However, now getting back to what I was saying though, God, this is annoying. So here's the roofing page. Now, a couple things I don't like about this. Number one, roofing's already in the domain. Okay. So I wouldn't want to repeat that there. I would go with what we just described here, right? Roofing is the profession of a roofer. So what I would probably do here is put roofer here as a topic coverage, or roof maintenance. So what is roof maintenance? Guys, remember, roof and all the keywords associated with roof, and in maintenance, which includes checks, inspection, servicing, repairing, replacing, installation for industrial businesses and residential applications. Do you understand? So roof maintenance is the broadest topic coverage that you can have, either roofer or roof maintenance, either one of those. Now, but what I would do, roof maintenance is more, in my opinion, is actually probably larger topic coverage. I would have to test. I have one roofing client, but I haven't done all of this for that one roofing client. I've had this one roofing client for years. I haven't done all of this for him. But what I would do is if I was in the roofing industry, is I would test with different pages to see what performs the best, what can rank for the most terms for one page, if that makes sense. And again, we got 10 more minutes. I'll demonstrate this in just a moment with some of my own properties to show you guys what I'm talking about. But what I would do is I would have changed this to either roofer or roof maintenance, and I would probably go with roof maintenance. Okay, like this. So how would I title this page? What is their current title? Let's go take a look at this. By the way, interestingly enough, look at how their homepage, God, that's irritating. What I want to do is view page source. Control F, title, right there. So this is their current SEO title for the homepage. Pond Roofing. Okay, I like that because that's first, but isn't their name Pond Roofing Company, Inc.? So why are they ambiguating their brand, right? Why not have their full name as it's published in Google Business to reinforce that? And then it says Exterior Home Improvement Company, Fairfax, Virginia. Okay, well, maybe they do other exterior stuff, but their primary category is roofing contractor. So again, I would want to optimize and reinforce, corroborate the primary Google business category. So I'm going to follow what Google does, and I'm going to optimize first with the full brand name, not a partial brand name. Then I'm going to optimize for the Google business category. Then I'm going to optimize for the full location entity as it's spelled out in Wikipedia, Fairfax, Virginia. You understand? So that's going to be the home page. But now take a look. What's interesting, as I was just saying, if you take a look at their roofing page, how did they optimize that title tag? Much like what I would have done for the homepage title tag. So where is the title? Right there. And again, still some flaws here, right? I'm not picking on these guys. I'm just using them as an example. But they currently have, this is their title for, let me put this in this, makes more sense. I would rearrange it to be like this, right? So first of all, what I just described that I would have done for the homepage, they did for this particular page. Now, it might be because they offer other services, gutters, siding, windows, etc. But if that's the case, then why not create for their home, their primary category, general contractor, right? Again, guys, if you go, I don't have time to do it, but if you go into Wikipedia and you search for, or go to Google and search for general contractor Wikipedia, you start to pull up the entities associated with that. You can very quickly determine there's remodeling, renovation, home improvement, contractor. So you can start to identify what the top level entities are, and then try to determine what is the most appropriate Google business category that will have the broadest coverage based upon your entity research, right? Using Wikipedia. So I say this because one of the test or example sites that I'm going to be sharing tomorrow in the mastermind was on home remodeling. In home remodeling, there are 3 remodeler categories. There's remodeler, kitchen remodeler, and bathroom remodeler. But then there's also contractor, construction company, general contractor. So there's some other ones that I think would be more relevant. It depends on what it is that you're doing. So what I'm saying is, if they have, if Pond Roofing does multiple types of, God damn it. Damn, that's irritating. If they do multiple different kinds of services, then I would optimize the location landing page for the broadest Google business category that's relevant. And then therefore I would have the separate pages that would be optimized for like the roofing page as they have it optimized here for roofing contractor, but I would optimize for the topic, not for keywords. This is keyword optimization, not topic or category optimization. This is category optimization as noted here. So if I were going to do it, how would I do it? This is how I would do this page. Now for organic pages, I swap the order of where the brand name is. So instead of prepending the brand name, I append the brand name. So that means put it at the end, right? So for example, I would do roof maintenance, Fairfax, Virginia, then the brand name, full brand name, not partial, like this. And this one page here can rank for all these other terms. All these other terms here aren't necessary. All these other pages aren't necessary. If any one of these keywords are critically important, remember, Google understands roof maintenance has such broad topic coverage that one page can rank for every one of those keywords, even if the keyword's not present on the page. But because a lot of SEOs still don't believe me, and that's fine. And if it's really important to you and you want to guarantee that Google understands that it's part of that, even though it already does, then you can have those as H2s within the content of that one page. If you feel like it has to be present on the page, fine, put it on the fucking page. But it's not necessary because Google understands that all of these other terms, according to the entities, the topics, and all of the language associated with them, it understands that when you optimize a page for that, that it can rank for all of those terms. So because we only got about 4 more minutes, I just want to demonstrate this, guys, because again, I found that if you put roof maintenance to create a topic, roof maintenance, it covers all of the keywords associated with roof, roofing, roofer, and all of the keywords associated with maintenance, which applies to servicing, inspection, repair, replacement, installation, both for industrial, commercial, and residential applications. Covers everything, right? So it's not necessary to have all of these pages on the site. If needed, if after optimizing for a topic or a category and giving it some time, it doesn't rank for the keywords that you want it to rank for, then you can add supporting content within a roof maintenance silo if needed. But why do all of that out of the gate when it's unnecessary? A lot of that is going to be unnecessary. So we've got about 3 or 4 more minutes just to kind of wrap this up, put a bow on this. I know I've demonstrated this dozens of times. I'm going to demonstrate it again to just reinforce what I just shared with you guys today. So this is not a very competitive keyword, but it's a good example of what happens when you optimize properly. Now, keep in mind, I've been doing a lot of testing. These were kind of some of the first versions of the site structures that I was testing this with. So I did a couple different versions of the site. One is built in WordPress, one is built in high level. It's not the final kind of structure that I use now. The final structure I use now is slightly different, but these were good test cases where I started to discover this. These are ones that I've shared publicly, so I don't mind sharing these here. So tree service is the primary Google business category. Now, neither one of these locations, or excuse me, projects that I'm going to share here, that I'm going to show, have Google business profiles associated with them. They are organic assets only. Okay. So just so you know, if a Google business profile is there, I want to optimize for their primary category. If it's not, then I want to optimize for whatever the top level broadest topic terms are. So I've optimized both of these slightly differently, but very similar site structure and everything else. And what I'm trying to explain here is this is above maps, Newberg tree, it's Grim Reaper tree services. And this is the Newberg page. Okay. We're not going to get to linking and all that other stuff. And that's fine. That's more mastermind stuff anyways. Here's another example of another site that I built that is similar in structure, targeting the exact same keywords, targeting the exact same locations, but this one was built on high level. This one was built in WordPress. Okay. Notice that though, what I'm saying is look at the SEO title here. It's tree maintenance. Notice the title, tree maintenance, Newberg, Kentucky. Okay. This is the high level site, so it doesn't perform as good as the WordPress site. This is the WordPress site, Grim Reaper Tree Services. The high level is Felling Pro. Just so you know the difference. Why does one outperform the other? It's code. Seriously, that's the only reason why the WordPress site outperforms the high level site every time, almost every time, 95% of the time. It's because WordPress code is favored by Google over high level code, which is very bloated. Okay. So this is a high level website. But what I'm getting at here, 5 more minutes and I'll be done, is take a look. Tree service is the primary keyword. And I've got this one ranking above maps and this one just below maps. And then I've got a Google site below that and then a YouTube video below that, whatever. That's part of the content mirroring method that's also taught in the mastermind. That is the primary keyword. Okay, let's just go through these very quickly, one by one. The next most important keyword to a tree contractor is tree removal. Tree service is number 1. Tree removal is number 2. What do we see? Grim Reaper tree services, right? Grim Reaper tree services right here. And I optimized here. I've still got keyword in here for tree maintenance as my first H2. I've got tree care as a topic term, which is, by the way, a very broad topic for the tree service industry, but tree maintenance trumps it. Tree maintenance is broader yet, broader still. Tree care, again, I told you I was testing all different kind of configurations, but I titled the SEO title after just Newberg tree service, if that makes sense. This is the one that was optimized with the SEO title for the top level topic term. And then I put the first H1 as Newberg tree service. And then I still have tree maintenance as my first H2. Again, guys, I recommend anybody listening to this to test this too. Test different configurations and order between the SEO title, the H1 and the first H2. Swap around, test different things to determine what provides the best results. Okay. And that's, again, if you try to do this in 15 different industries, good luck. You're going to be doing this for a long time. Do it with one. It took me months to figure this out in the tree service industry with one industry. So that's why I keep hammering away to you guys to go into one industry. All right. So anyway, tree removal, you guys just saw. So let's go ahead and go to tree trimming. That's keyword number 3. What do we see? Grim Reaper tree services. What's just below that? Felling Pro. Look at this. Felling Pro, the high level site, has 2 page 1 rankings for that keyword. You see that? There's the tree maintenance page. That's the home page for Jefferson County. And then here's the actual Newberg page. And look at the title, tree maintenance, topic term. Okay. Broadest topic term. So let's keep moving. That's keyword number 3, right? That's the 3rd most important keyword. The next one would be, let's say, tree cutting. Well, actually tree care is a little bit better. We could look for tree cutting too. Tree care. What do we see? Grim Reaper tree services, Felling Pro. Let's keep moving. We're going to go to tree cutting. Okay, what do we see? Grim Reaper tree services, Felling Pro. Let's go to arborist. What do we see? Grim Reaper tree services, Felling Pro. Let's keep moving, guys. Do you guys understand? You see what I'm talking about here? Let's go to the next one, stump grinding, right? Stump grinding. If I can spell. What do we see? Grim Reaper tree services, Felling Pro in number 3. Okay. So that one's not ranking quite as well, but that's okay. Again, most likely cause a high level code. What about, let's do stump removal, right? That's another version, a variant of the same keyword, right? Let's look at stump removal. What do we see? Grim Reaper tree services, Felling Pro. Let's do one more. Let's do land clearing, right? Land clearing. Low volume, but high value keyword. Land clearing. What do we see? Grim Reaper tree services, Felling Pro, number 3. Do you guys understand? All of a sudden, when you optimize a site properly for the topic or category, how it can rank for everything. Now, that's part of it. There's also structure. We didn't get to that today. I'm going to cover that very thoroughly tomorrow in the mastermind webinar. But the point that I'm trying to make, guys, is you can go back through and look at some of these the way, this is unnecessary. I separated service pages on these 2 sites, so they each have separate service pages. That's completely unnecessary. All of those can be combined into one page. So you only need one service page. Then you can have all the location pages that reference, so it creates an association. That's lever number 1 in optimizing for the semantic web, association, relevance, corroboration. But you force associations between the products or service entities or the products or services and the locations by having a topical silo, product or service silo, and location silos, and cross-linking between them. People talk in the SEO industry about not cross-linking between silos. That's true for topical silos because it bleeds thematic relevance. Right? You bleed the theme. But when you're talking about topical silos and location silos, cross-linking is how you force the associations between them. Does that make sense? You reduce bloat, reduce redundancy, make your job easier, it's less content, performs better, and all the other SEOs out there will be scratching their head. So again, guys, I highly encourage you to spend the time researching this kind of stuff, starting with the Google business category, using Google, append Wikipedia to your search term, and start identifying the named entities that are most relevant to your products and services in the industry that you're working in, and then start testing. I can't give you an easier way to do it than that. I wish I had an easier way to tell you. I don't know. If anybody else does, feel free to share it with me, and I'd love to share that with others. But this is something that I did manually on my own through trial and error to figure out how it worked best in the tree service industry. I wouldn't want to do this for 15 industries, I can tell you that. Anyway, hopefully that was clear.